T-spine rotation PAILs and rails is another great drill for golfers. This helps us start to create some of that passive flexibility that we're talking about, as far as starting to create that separation between our upper body and our hips. So we're gonna get set up is going to be on our back.
All right, we're gonna come in here and we're gonna have both of our legs drop over to the side, right? So we're here, and then we're gonna let that torso twist as far as possible. So you're probably gonna have a little bit of space between your back and the floor. The PAILs contraction in this position is gonna have our arm covering over our leg, and I'm going to then drive my knees up into my hands. I'm gonna start with 20% max effort contraction, ramp it up to 40, ramp it up to 60%, to 80%, all the way up to my 100% contraction, and hold that for 10 seconds. Once my contraction is held for 10 seconds, the max contraction that is, I'm then going to release the pressure here. I'm going to try to pull my knees into the ground, and I'm going to try to separate my shoulders away from my hips. Now the rails contraction is also going to be a 10-second contraction. So I'm trying to drive my knees constantly for 10 seconds into the floor, and then I'm trying to drive my shoulders towards the floor as well, but in the opposite direction. So I'm trying to twist myself. Once your 10 seconds is up, your hand will come back on your knees, and we'll keep it flush against the ground. And then we're going to repeat 2 more rounds in the same position. And then when the 3 rounds is up, we're going to then follow that up with a 2-minute stretch to help create that passive flexibility. Now, one thing to keep in mind with technique is I like to keep my free hands stuck on my rib cage here, because what that will allow me to do is, as I'm rotating, I'm actually going to create pure trunk rotation. If I hold my arm here and I just drive my elbow to the ground, that's going to give me somewhat of a false range of motion. It's also an increased lever to help me get there. So I want to keep that hand tucked in on my ribs, and then I want to create that separation via my actual trunk rotation and by my hip rotation in the opposite direction.